provided that the lies that wall, they say they're the truth.
Well, would you look at that? Welcome back, I guess, kind of, sort of, to the spin cycle. We're moving away from the one-person host. Thank you to Nathan for taking over after I did. His show is still going. It's now the Nathan Hale Show, so you can still watch that. The spin cycle is taking a new turn. It is now going to be a little bit more like a panel show, but not quite. You'll at least, at the bare minimum, have us two yahoos to look at. But we'll be releasing a show once a week, once maybe every 2 weeks, depending on the cycle, and if there's anything breaking or massive happening. But that said, welcome back. You guys know who I am. Some of you, most of you, hopefully by now, know who this gentleman here is. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
I'm Ryan Thomas. I have guested along on some of this stuff along the way on the previous iterations. We did some election coverage and some politics and some music.
Yeah, we did I think 2 different streams that were music related, and then spawned off a whole other channel that I'm currently brutally neglecting. Should probably get back to that too. I have a lot of unfinished shit, and yet here we are, another undertaking. So yeah, right, exactly. So the whole reason we're here is not to educate or inform you, because we're the last 2 guys you want doing that. However, we can provide thoughts, opinions, clarity, and occasionally a crash out or 2. It's inevitable. It'll be me first.
Oh,
guaranteed.
I thought it was gonna be me.
I don't know. It'll most certainly be me first. We might not even make it through this video.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like, I mean, there's just, yeah, we'll hold off on that. I don't want to jump into that. I don't want to get mad just yet. Ryan and I have known each other for, God, it's got to be pushing 16, 17 years, something like that.
Yeah, bare minimum 15. Yeah,
bare minimum. And we have been debating people in bar rooms since I was basically pulling DD duty for friends. So
highly
prior to me being able to drink.
Debate your local bar room.
Yes.
That's my first t-shirt.
I don't know. I don't know if I would do that now. Well,
you might get
shot. You might be safe, but Republicans, unfortunately, we have to worry about getting fucking shot for our opinion.
I think everybody has to worry about that.
I don't know, man. I don't know about the last time you saw a Republican gunning down a Democrat for their beliefs. When was the last time you saw that?
It's a fair point.
I'm just saying. It's a little lopsided in the violence, man. Let's be honest.
Their political violence is much more one-sided in the real world and less one-sided in a bar.
True. Well, it depends on the town you're in, too.
That is all. Hey, Baltimore's great. Love it. Philly, close second.
Do you like moonlight as a bouncer, or do you moonlight as like a bare knuckle fighter? Like, I mean,
I've done
Baltimore and Philadelphia are the last 2 places I would want to debate someone in a bar, unless they had a bulletproof vest.
I've no. I have bounced. Yes, I have bounced.
It's not
something. It's not an aspiration that I had, but it was a good time.
So the reason we wanted to, I think, at least speaking for myself here, that we wanted to get into this is I like to think of myself as a reasonable guy in most aspects, at least politically. This guy, however, is much more reasonable than I can ever be. This is a tried and true independent. I consider myself a bit of a right-leaning libertarian. There's exceptions to every rule. I'm sure you'll come to find out as we go through the inherent hypocrisy in some of my views, which is fine. It's fine. Everything contradicts at some point or another. We're kind of different but same in that respect.
That's
even
fair.
though we're very different but somehow same.
Well,
That was the you know the reference, right?
Yes.
Please tell me you
please,
know the
no,
reference. All
just
right.
Don't. You should never do that again.
What? You don't like my Japanese samurai voice?
Oh my god.
Got a problem with it?
Talk about the two sons. How are they? It's
I
not
don't know.
Tatooine. It's Tokyo.
I don't know. We are only allowed to have the two children, one a boy and one a girl.
Yeah, I'm like low key impressed. Like that's actually better than I thought it was gonna be.
Oh, wait till you hear my tech support voice. It's perfect.
Oh, fuck, man. Okay. I'm not offended. I'm fucking impressed. But I was gonna actually
Give it
say
about
something.
10 minutes. I'll make sure I offend you next. Hold
I
on,
was gonna
fat
say
boy, sit down.
something. I was gonna say something meaningful, and that's that. Yes, we come from like some different viewpoints, but the perfect part is that we can have conversation about it.
I like to think both of us are rooted in common sense. Just depends where, where you're from and how common it is.
Well,
Just saying. I mean,
fuck Baltimore, but yeah, great.
yeah, he's not saying that because of the blacks. Don't look at his forearm.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's not it's not racist, I swear to God.
We just had a whole conversation about this off camera.
I got informed this past like couple weeks that somebody thought a skull and crossbones tattoo was inherently racist, which apparently it's not. It wasn't. It was a Friday the 13th tattoo. Was cheap as fuck. So sorry.
It's not the skull and crossbones. It might be the SS in the
There's
skull.
no SS in it.
It looks
It's
like
13 for the Friday the 13th.
I know, but still,
Oh,
it does bear some resemblance. Anyway, off topic.
Looks nothing like
this is what you have to look forward to, folks, just so we're perfectly clear on that.
I'm here to have a good time, potentially crash out. We'll see. I can only crash out so hard when my kids are sleeping. So,
well, yeah. Yeah, exactly. You know that if we film one during the daylight, that there's a major problem. Time. Yeah, there's going to be some screaming, and it's usually something urgent. That being said, I want to cover a couple things. We initially weren't planning on doing that, but there's been some interesting developments over the weekend that, specifically on my fucking birthday of all things, decided to hit the fan. And by it, I mean the shit hit the fan. Okay. We had two things. One, I believe, I don't know that you knew much about prior to last night.
I did not. I was out of the news cycle.
Yeah. And I'd be interested to see. This is the reason I bring this up is because the two of us generally share the same view when it comes to military intervention and things like that. So over the weekend, the cartels decided to go full retard. The Mexican government killed El Mencho. Yeah, like the most wanted cartel leader in Mexico. They fucking offed him, and the entire operation was backed. They will try to downplay it. Was backed by U.S. intelligence. The BBC, who I would normally never use as a source, but considering it's Mexico, let's be real. Mexico's most wanted drug lord El Mencho, killed in military operation. Mexico's most wanted man and the leader of the feared Jalisco New Generation drug cartel has been killed during a security operation to arrest him. Oh, well, oops. Or CJ.
He resisted.
Yeah, he was. Stop resisting. Was he? Wait. But the question is, was he actually resisting, or was he resisting in like the civil rights era resisting?
I don't think it mattered.
I don't either. 4 CJNG members were killed in the town of Tapalpa, the central western Jalisco state. So they retaliated by burning the entire fucking place to the ground. There's a good one. They're burning the place to the fucking ground. Well, a bus. So this is happening all across Jalisco. 59-year-old former police officer responsible for trafficking huge quantities of cocaine, methamphetamine, and fentanyl into the U.S., otherwise known as Amy Winehouse's last weekend.
Wildly talented. She was great.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Now I feel like a dick. The Mexican Defense Ministry said in a statement the operation was planned and executed by the country's special forces. Aircraft from the Mexican Air Force and National Guard were also deployed. It also said that several armored vehicles and weapons, including rocket launchers, were seized during the operation. So normally, understand, I am not generally the biggest fan of U.S. military intervention at any given time, ever. However, part of Jalisco, and one of the most well-known parts of said province, is Puerto Vallarta. It is a massive tourist destination. It's a big cruise destination. This is what Puerto Vallarta looks like right now, or as of yesterday. Just being there. The whole place is just burning to the ground. And why I bring up intervention is this. The part that we didn't really cover intentionally is this. $15 million for information leading to the arrest and or conviction of El Mencho. That bounty was placed by the U.S. State Department. $15 million reward for information leading to El Mencho's capture. The U.S. had been providing information to Mexico that assisted its operation. They have completely come out and said there were no U.S. forces involved, but it was United States intel. In Puerto Vallarta, at any time, you could have couple thousand Americans. If these cartels touch one hair on one head of one innocent American, send in the fucking Marines. You can't play with these people because they won't stop.
I don't disagree. Like when it comes to our people, like I understand that our intel was part of this, but you have to set the precedent. If U.S. citizens are at risk, we take care of U.S. citizens, and especially against a non-legitimate regime. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, illegitimate regime, yes. But make no mistake, these cartel members are insanely well armed and well funded. And to give you an idea, this is what we're looking at. This is not paramilitary. This is not a military group. It's a cartel.
I paid like $15 for that Call of Duty skin.
I know, right? And these guys are just walking around with it IRL.
I'm gonna talk shit for a second. Is that dude wearing? Is that dude wearing fucking tinted goggles at night?
Yeah. Look, nobody said they were bright. All right, I said they were well funded and well armed. That's all I said. I did not say they were intelligent. Make sure. If there is, clip it and we'll post it.
1v1 sim round match.
You've played a lot of Tarkov.
My friends versus those guys. I'm in.
I mean, look, they've got rocket launchers.
Yeah.
Like these are not, so I don't want to see it happen. I don't want to see something widespread happen because how many, we don't know how many cartel members are here currently. Already in the United States, across our borders, we had 10 million people come in illegally under Joe Biden. So we don't know how many of them are here. So I would like to try to avoid a large-scale conflict, especially one that could happen here on U.S. streets. But at the same time, if you don't hit these cartels harder, it's like every time we've taken out the head of a terrorist organization and then relaxed and let our foot off the gas, whether it was with Al-Qaeda or it was ISIS or, whoever, we've seen that if you cut the head off the snake, it grows one back that's even uglier. And we saw that with El Chapo. We saw that with Pablo Escobar. Once Escobar fell, then the Mexican cartel started kind of taking over the territory. And taking over the trade. You've got Tren de Aragua out of Venezuela. So it's very much a risky situation to take on. But if these guys aren't put in their place and you don't put a stop to it now, I worry that we're going to get to a point where it would amount to a massive, large-scale war. And I don't ever want to see war come to the steps of the U.S.
I legitimately don't think it would. I think that you would have maybe tiny, tiny, tiny pockets in the U.S. that would be dealt with. I think that the most likely thing that you would ever see would be something precision, Venezuela adjacent, like whoever the new guy is. You'll see a coordinated kidnapping or a fucking drone strike or whatever we're doing this week. But I don't think that you're actually going to see anything more than like very, very isolated pockets ever cross the border. If you do, I would like you to meet the American redneck.
Yeah, there's nothing more dangerous than an American redneck. I mean, we'll just be...
And which is a terrible thing. I don't want that to happen because I don't want any increased racial tension. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Because like the vast majority of Hispanic people are not this person. Like it's not what we need.
But I don't think you would see much of that because 99% of that racial tension, in my opinion, is astroturfed. I think there's some things that are real. I think, they're calling it black fatigue. I think that's very real, but I don't think it has anything to do with black people. It has to do with the culture that a select few people are force feeding to the masses. And so, I don't think racial, at least in my opinion, I don't think racial tensions would be the biggest worry. I think for me, the biggest worry would be the backlash, the potential terror attacks that would come from something like this. And the other side of it is, if you open up this can of worms, which again, I am fully okay with the government sending in the Marines if one person's fucking hurt. Mm-hmm. But the long-term side effects that you have to look at are, where does this end? Because you keep cutting the head off the snake. You have to tackle the infrastructure. You have to take down the infrastructure. And the problem from, that we've seen up until now is we don't know what their infrastructure is like. And now we're starting to see it.
Oh. And I think it's probably changing every time we cut off a head. That's the problem I don't think this is a static issue. Now, as far as racial goes, hold on. Let me put my feet on the floor.
Oh boy, he's putting his feet on the floor, guys. This is going to get serious here.
Well, because listen, I hate making any racial issue. We do have a history of making any issue racial, and
Fair.
you look at the uh, Arab reaction post 9/11. You look at the fucking Japanese reaction post Pearl Harbor. Like, it is a thing that happens, and it's not necessarily something that should happen because, once again, just like the vast majority of violence in Chicago is perpetrated by African American people, doesn't mean that African American people are bad. So, like, it's not something that I'm supporting. It's just, it absolutely is something that comes into the conversation, and typically in a bad way. And I don't want that to happen because there are phenomenal people, legal immigrants that have come from Mexico or Brazil or wherever.
Are you talking like in terms of, of like the immigration side of things? Of like, is
No.
there going to be more
No.
enhanced restrictions? Are we going to
No,
start
well-
deporting people that are here like legally on visas because of the risk?
I
Or-
hope that's not, no. I hope that would not be a thing.
so you're talking more on like the civil, like
I'm
the
talking-
internal dialogue of the citizens rather than the government overstep of racial, like the government causing racial tensions. You're talking about the perception.
I'm talking, yes, perception, 100%.
Okay,
And
okay.
I'm talking about you.
Then I
you
agree
mentioned-
with you in that respect.
You
'cause
mentioned
we saw that after 9/11.
Right. Well, yeah, absolutely. You mentioned that like the 10 million under Joe Biden, and there could be, and I'm sure are not a large amount, but probably there's a percentage of people that are cartel affiliated that guaranteed came across the border during that era, and probably also during the Trump administration. Like, you can't say the Trump administration like fully stopped illegal immigration. So,
It was at historic lows both
right,
times.
yeah,
I mean,
right.
this
But it still,
time is
wildly
awesome.
but it still happens, and I would guarantee you that the people that have bad intentions are probably the most motivated to get across the border. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want it to devolve into something on a country level. I wouldn't want it to evolve into something that was racially motivated. But as far as going in and taking care of our own, I'm all about it. Like, I don't want any. Oh God, this is gonna sound bad. If you're harming American citizens, even overseas, I don't want any modicum of mercy.
I don't think there's anything wrong with what you just said.
I think
That's how I am. I mean,
I like drop a SEAL team, grab them, take out who you have to take out on the way out, and just fucking do the job.
well, and
yeah.
that is kind of exactly what I think people are calling for at this point. This was a post from Eric Dougherty on X. Americans are still under a shelter-in-place order from Marco Rubio's State Department because Mexico is failing to get the cartels under control. Let's take a look.
Themselves under a shelter-in-place order from the State Department, and the State Department shelter-in-place order goes to Puerto Vallarta, Guadalajara, Chapala, Reynosa, Michoacan, Guerrero, Nuevo Leon. I mean, a lot of people are trying to get out of there, Robert, as fast as they can, and they're having a hard time doing it.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, and you've probably heard me say this before, is that I tell people not to go to Mexico. And I think there's even more reason for me to say that because things have changed now. President Trump has said he's going after the cartel. And I think by us providing information to Mexican authorities on his location and taking him out, you're going to see more of this.
Man, Mike Tyson's really aged.
Dude, I think that guy drinks more than I do. That's crazy.
Yeah, but people are already calling for it, and again, I'm all for it if somebody gets harmed, but I don't want to see us strike first and then wind up in a full-scale kinetic war that could potentially spill to the home front.
I'm generally tired of nation building. I'm generally tired of world policing, but I'll give the exception that this is our closest border. Well, aside from Canada, and let's be honest, they ain't doing shit. So, yeah, I'm not looking to go in until we have to.
Yeah. No, I think we're in agreement on that mostly. You know, and the interesting thing to kind of break down the bias that we're seeing here, the right is, you know, calling for action, and they're kind of touting this like as a little bit of a victory, in terms of like the fentanyl and the border politics, and there's a lot of praise, there's a lot of happiness on that side. It is arguably a positive thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, you take a bad guy.
And right, like they finally did something, right? They're taking the policies of President Trump, as well as, you know, his cabinet, Marco Rubio, who I'm incredibly impressed with, but they're finally starting to take it seriously and tackle this cartel problem. And so you have the right that is either adjacent to us or a little bit further and wanting action now. And on the flip side, you have the left. We haven't really gotten to talk about their reaction to this yet. And it's exactly as you would. No, it's
Am I going to be the token Democrat again?
No, again, it's very much the same shit. It's exactly what you would expect. They are more concerned with the destabilization from it. They're more concerned with the U.S.'s culpability in it. You know, and so for example, this is, God, I wanted to avoid showing this, but I have to, because this is just ridiculous. This is what I call a left-leaning perspective on this. This comes from commondreams.org, which clearly they're not doing so hot. Asking for money as a pop-up. U.S.-backed killing of cartel boss unleashes wave of violence across Mexico. Understand that the framing of the fucking headline alone is designed to push some U.S. culpability.
Yeah.
You know, and this is written by Stephen Prager. Interesting.
I bet he gets
the
laid.
killing of clearly he looks like the type. The killing of Mexico's top cartel leader, known as El Mencho's, created a power struggle that could plunge Mexico into almost record levels of violence. So, and we've covered a lot of that. And like I said, I understand the violence portion of it. But they have, you know, the first line: with support from the U.S., Mexican security forces killed one of the nation's most powerful cartel bosses on Sunday. Great. That's awesome. They killed the cartel guy's dead.
Yep.
They make it a point to push that, you know, there's support from the U.S.
Sure.
The killing has left civilians caught in the crossfire. So, you know, again, they're concerned with the destabilization that it's going to cause, and they're pushing our involvement as if it was some major thing, and it wasn't. It was simply basic intelligence sharing.
Right. Let's take this for a moment and reframe this. Like, assumably, Mexico, to our immediate border, we consider them allies to a degree. I would like to think, like, regardless of like immigration thoughts, etc. Like, we're good. We're good. We're friends. We should share intel. I would expect them to share intel with us if they had actionable intel. If we had somebody that we considered a national security threat in the United States, and Mexico had actionable intel on that guy, and I would expect them to give it to us. So,
absolutely,
like us doing the same, I don't see that being a negative. Like, yes, destabilization is going to maybe happened because those people who are not labeled terrorists, they're labeled cartels, but like they're fucking in the same boat. Like they have a much larger hold on the economy and the populace of Mexico than obviously what a terrorist organization would have in the United States. Yeah. That notwithstanding, like, do you still not got to get rid of the bad guys in order for the good guys to get in control? Like, at some point, you have to. It might be uncomfortable now, and you have to be uncomfortable now to hopefully get better later. Because if you just leave it the way it is, it's not going to get better.
Well, and here's the thing, the comfortability. Well, okay. What are you more comfortable with? The potential destabilization that happens as we take them out, or this? Fentanyl seizures by weight in pounds at the U.S. border each financial year since 2021. Okay. This right here. Since October 2024, 9,200 pounds. That's 4,000 kilograms. Okay. Keep that in mind for you druggies that are potentially watching. That's 4,182 kilograms. All right. Has been seized in the U.S. Almost all of it was intercepted at the southwest border with Mexico. Less than 1% was seized across the U.S. border with Canada. The remainder was from sea routes or other U.S. checkpoints. This right here, if it is entering the United States via Mexico, it is going through the hands of El Mencho and the CJNG.
Yeah. Fair enough.
That is just all there is to it. So ask yourself, you look at every day, you look at the people in the streets of places like LA and San Francisco, parts of Philadelphia,
Baltimore.
Baltimore. You go and you look you look at the zombies in the streets and the amount of people that, I could think of off the top of my head 5 people that I went to high school with.
Yeah,
that
for sure.
have all died of a fentanyl overdose.
It's absolutely.
Are you more comfortable with destabilizing temporarily to end this? Or do you want to keep watching people die?
I'm not even looking at it from that aspect. I'm looking at it from the aspect of like the Mexican people. Like you are living in a world that is like kind of, to my understanding, and I could be entirely off base. You've got the Mexican government and you have the cartels, and they're just actively vying for control. Is the way that it has seemed for decades at this point.
Oh, yes.
And if the cartel goes away, like, God willing, a legitimate government actually takes control of that shit. I don't know that it does because, once again, multiple heads on the snake. Somebody else always seems to pop up. Yep. But if it was me, I would rather take the risk of another head popping up and pushing closer to general peace and people leaving me the fuck alone than I would just accepting cartel rule or close to.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, I brought up fentanyl. Obviously,
it's the big one. It's
the big one behind human trafficking.
Oh yeah.
How many children? Everybody loves to talk about the Epstein files, which, I have my own. We could do a whole fucking 5-hour fucking show on that.
We should do that. I'm in.
Yeah, we probably should. We probably should do a show just on that.
I want to get deep on like the conspiracy theory side of that shit.
Yes, we most definitely need to do that. Everyone loves to talk about the Epstein files, and yeah, I 100% all of but they're quick to politicize it, and they're like, oh, pedophile, this and okay. Well, what about these kids? What about the survivors? What about the survivors of sex trafficking? What about the little girls that are passed around from cartel member to cartel member and brutally raped repeatedly just so they can cross the river? What about the millions of or hundreds of thousands of missing children under the Biden administration? The media just pushed the mother of a fucking talk show, a morning talk show host that's viewership has been declining since the fucking first episode. But they won't put resources into the thousands of missing kids. So are you more comfortable with a temporary destabilization? Or do you want to continue the same cycle of death, destruction that has been happening right under our noses at the southern border and beyond for decades?
If you can decisively cut it off, I think you can make that case. The problem is there is no decision.
Yeah.
That's just not how it works. And whoever makes that call will either be a hero or a villain in history. I think I agree. If you have a chance to make it better and you didn't take it, then I think you have fucked up.
Well, let's be honest. This has much more immediate danger and much more immediate importance than Russia-Ukraine does to the United States.
Oh, my
This
dear
is on
God,
the
yes.
doorstep.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the closest to home. And once again, like there's a conversation to be had on how much do they take care of themselves? How much do we have to intervene in? If we're giving them intel, I don't really have a problem with that. I don't want boots on the ground unless we fucking have to.
Okay, so funny that we're having this discussion
Oh boy.
because I just found this on X. This was posted like 14 hours ago. The cartels have crossed the red line after unleashing chaos in Mexico and putting U.S. citizens in imminent danger. Congressman Tim Burchett and Senator Mike Lee are demanding the immediate passage of a historic bill that would authorize modern privateers to hunt down and destroy the cartels. Ex-SEALs, ex-Rangers, Marine Raiders, and elite private contractors with a free hand to pursue these narco-terrorists on their own turf. Burchett said it clear and unfiltered. Let's take a look.
Hey everybody, Tim Burchett. This morning I was noticing that the cartels have been acting up like they do. They burn up a Costco down in Mexico and they've taken over areas, possibly airports. I'm not sure about all that, but they've now, and Americans are down there, of course, and they're in harm's way. And what can be done? I had a bill, it's still out there. Can't seem to get it moved anywhere, which is unfortunate. Myself and Senator Lee has it on the Senate side. It's called Letters of Marque, and it's actually provided for in the Constitution that the president can get privateers, and it's happened throughout history a few times. I believe they went after the Barbary pirates. Which later became the United States Marine Corps, if I believe what happened there. And what it does is allows the president to hire privateers. And these would be, like I said before, they're not going to go down here to Roosters on North Shore or Toddy's Backdoor Tavern on Kingston Pike and sign people up. They're going to go get first tier operators, former SEALs, former airborne rangers, folks like that, Marines, Marine Raiders, folks like that would that may be still active in some sort, more or less private contractors, and allow them to go after these cartels in other countries, because you can't send our military into another country unless they're has been ordained by their government to for their military to attack us or threaten us or our civilians. So what you're seeing is a cartel. It's a private entity, allegedly. But anyway, that's a bill that needs to pass. It's called Letters of Marque. And the president could basically send these folks down there and get our folks, and it'd be very efficient, I feel like. And you wouldn't have to ask Congress for every bullet and every rifle. And what happened in the past, I can remember we went after, I think, Solomon.
All right, he's rambling now. So,
Yeah.
while that was playing, I went ahead and pulled up that exact bill, and it is normally I would just drop this down in the description, but this one is short enough we can actually cover it here. So it is H.R. 1238. It was introduced February 12th of 2025. So we're talking over a year ago, people. Fucking get to work. The bill is to authorize the President of the United States to issue letters of marque and reprisal with respects to acts of aggression against the United States by a member of a cartel or a member of a cartel-linked organization or any conspirator associated with the cartel for other purposes. Congress finds the following. Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution grants the Congress the power to grant letters of marque and reprisal to punish, deter, prevent the acts of aggression and depredations and other acts of war committed by cartel conspirators. They present an unusual and extraordinary threat to national security and foreign policy of the United States. Section 3 is the issuance. The President is authorized and requested to commission under officially issued letters of marque and reprisal so many of privately armed and equipped persons and entities as, in the judgment of the President, the service may require, with suitable instructions to the leaders thereof, to employ all means reasonably necessary to seize outside the geographic boundaries of the U.S. and its territories the person and property of any individual who the President determines is a member of a cartel, member of a cartel-linked organization, or a conspirator associated with the cartel or cartel-linked organization who's responsible for an act of aggression against the United States. No letter of marque and reprisal should be issued without requiring the posting of a security bond in such amount as the President determines is sufficient to ensure the letter be executed. They go on to define cartel in two different ways. Simple, sweet, to the point. This would essentially authorize the United States to use private paramilitary contractors. And I have some questions as far as international law is concerned on, how that would, but I like the idea.
I
don't know where you stand on the idea of private military.
I mean, when it's something that's this close to home, I like the idea a lot more. I will say that I don't know what their I'd have to see what the definition of their surety bond and everything would be, because I would be concerned about oversight. Like, what happens the first time that a group of privateers fucks up a fishing boat that had nothing to do with a cartel? That's a big issue, and that would be my biggest concern. Like, if you confirm a target, give our privateers that CIA intel you're using, and I'm a little bit more comfortable. But I don't want us. Listen, we got what's the God? I'm gonna date myself. The kid that floated over from Cuba back in the early 2000s. Oh. Give me that kind of situation, and then also give me the paramilitary group that fucking lasers that boat out of existence. I don't want that shit. Like, he shows up, you ship him back, you call it a day, or whatever the situation may be. I don't think we need to be murking people on the water for that.
Alex Jones, of all people.
Oh, boy.
Alex Jones says, breaking. President Trump offers to send in the U.S. military to take control of Mexican cartels. If Mexico wanted help with the cartels, we'd be honored to go in and do it. Okay, now listen. This is very serious, okay? I don't think this is President Trump. I think this is one of those reptilian aliens that came down from outer space and brought with them the demons and the angels that were fighting in the Democrat Party, okay? This is what Trump actually said.
So Mexico is saying that I offered to send U.S. troops into Mexico to take care of the cartel. She wants to know, is that true? Do you think I'm going to answer that question?
That's why I'm asking. We'll see.
I will answer it. It's true. Absolutely. Because they should be. They are horrible people that have been killing people left and right. They've made a fortune on selling drugs and destroying our people. We lost 300,000 people last year to fentanyl and drugs. They're bad news. Yeah, that's true. If Mexico wanted help with the cartels, we would be honored to go in. So Mexico is saying that I...
Okay. Side note, we will never have another man like that. Well, do you really think I'm going to answer that question? You stupid bitch. Do you think I'm going to answer that? Well, we'll see. We'll see. I will answer it. I will answer. Just because you said that, you dumb cunt. I'm going to say it. I'm going to give you the answer. You ready? Okay. Like, no other person is going to fuck. They're going to be like, yes.
I'm glad
yes,
he
it's
answered
true.
it. I'm glad he answered it.
Me too.
I
In Trump fashion.
I disagree with his answer. Are we going to send people in to take care of the cartels? If they ask us. He just said yes.
Yeah, you just telegraphed the next move.
Well, that and not our fucking job. Close the border, prevent that shit from coming in here, let them deal with their own business to a degree.
Ramp up the deportations.
To a degree. I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying fucking what's actively coming in. Stop that fucking flow. I don't need to go down and install a new regime. I don't need to go down and knock the head off of somebody else. I don't need to go down and be the police of the world again.
Yeah. No, fair.
It's just not, it's not our fucking job. And I don't want to put U.S. service members in danger for that, even though Garen fucking Teed, trust me, there are guys, and I know guys, that would volunteer for that shit. Not our job.
Well, no, I mean, and I'm with you. I mean, it kind of comes back to the concept of like, I'm all for that if a U.S. citizen is harmed.
Yeah, if we have to do something actively to prevent harm to our own, fucking drop Delta. I'm in. Like, fucking scorched earth if you have to. I'm in. But outside of that, like, I'm tired of the disposition that we just have to go fucking take care of everybody else. Like, we've done it. We've proven that it doesn't work in a long scale basis. Like, every time we do it, we do it for a period of time and we withdraw. And then when we withdraw, it goes back to shit. Like, there's a certain level of isolationism that I think is reasonable.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I mean, I worry. Unless it's a necessary thing, I think we're both in agreement there that I don't want any part of it.
Right. What I'm saying is the way that Trump made that sound is if I get a call saying, can you come help us? I'm going to send the boys. And I don't think that's the right move at all.
It's the no new wars guy. It's supposed to be the no new wars guy.
Well,
I get it. I've had that kind of thought. Every time something pops off, whether it's Iran or whatever it is, my anti-war instinct kind of jumps in. It's like, oh yeah, no new wars, huh? This is a war I'd be okay with fighting if a single citizen is killed. Until that point, though, I don't think at just a request we should be dropping people in.
If it's something we had to do, like I need like severely justified justification.
Yeah, I need to know that the reason we're going in is the right reason.
On the bright side, I don't think Mexico
if an American's
has
killed. That's the proof I need.
I don't think Mexico has oil though, so like we're less likely to go in.
Yeah, less likely to go in. Depends though. I mean, how much space do they have for AI data centers?
Oh, that's fair. Tons of solar. We can do tons of solar down there.
Tons of solar. We're giving them reasons. We should stop while we're ahead.
We're just defending the Ford plant.
Yeah, literally. It is. It's one of those things where breaking down that, that concept of like, again, if they ask us to come in, are we going to be the world's police?
Yeah, I think the answer to that
Probably
needs to be no.
It needs to be a hard no.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, outside very specific justifications has to be a very hard no.
Yeah. And that American blood is that justification for me.
Once again,
Otherwise,
I'm not going to say that we can't provide intel. We can't help them do their job better. I'm fine with that. I don't want boots on the ground.
No, I mean, if it's going to be something where, it's a targeted strike, it's a one-night operation like we saw with Venezuela, I can support to a certain, I can support it to a certain degree, but, I would worry that, if we try to take an action preemptively, that it's going to stall Congress even more. That would be the concern there, is like, how long are we going to sit before Congress, agrees to do something? Meanwhile, midterms are coming up and we still haven't passed the SAVE Act. We still haven't passed a basic law for voter ID. So Congress is going to get wrapped up in all of that. And it's just another excuse to not pass voter ID.
And there's
we need to be very careful how we do this. Whether we get involved now or with an official declaration of war for Congress, we got to be careful.
I don't think you'll ever see it, not without some very, very serious changes. I don't think you'll ever see an official declaration of war from Congress. Like, honestly,
we'll ever see it again.
I don't think. Yeah, I say in my lifetime, I don't think you'll see it unless somebody literally fires a nuke. I don't think you'll see it. No, we're gonna do the posturing that we normally do. We're gonna do the flyovers, the military exercises, the almost like modern day Cold War tactics is gonna be what everything's gonna be.
The show of brute force.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it's justified. Like I saw, this is small sidebar. I was reading something on TikTok yesterday about the second carrier strike group getting pushed to the waters near Iran. And people, I don't know what fucking bots are in those chats, but Jesus Christ. They were like, 2 carriers can't take Iran. And it was one of the most like, holy, first off, fucking, it's not 2 carriers, it's 2 carrier strike groups.
Yeah.
Which is
that's a lot.
More than
a lot of power.
That's more than what, 80% of the militaries in the world? Probably 2 US carrier strike groups.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to do it overnight, or you want us to like stretch it out a little bit? Like, you want me to like choke you out, or you want me to like loosen up a little bit and let you have like a couple seconds so you feel better? Like,
no, the real question is, do you want me to choke you out or do you want me to knock you out? Because I can do either one of those things.
Yeah, you get
one is just slower and more methodical, and you have more of a chance.
Yeah, you get 10 seconds on one and 1 second on the other. Like,
yeah.
But that's what we do, is we push force where we have to, and typically we don't use it. Typically. Now, the Maduro thing was a different moment, which I thought was fucking funny, because like, I'm sorry. Anybody who says, "Come get me, bro," and obviously there's a lot of semantics to that shit, like the whole potentially military, like I would dive into conspiracy theory, but like the whole potential like asset, or he was looking for a way out or whatever, like does not seem unreasonable to me. But literally, come get me, this is where I am, and we were like, gotcha, like,
bitch.
Like, bare minimum, it's a really good reason to blare "Fortunate Son" on a fucking Huey. Like,
yep.
Yeah,
exactly. I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to see where it goes, but it's been kind of crazy to me that the actual like coverage, the mainstream media coverage, has been next to none.
I have not seen. So that's one of the reasons you and I talked very briefly last night about it. I didn't know shit about it because none of the mainstream, like, and I'm not super plugged in. I try not to be. I'm probably going to be more, which is probably just going to be rage bait. But like, what I see across my fucking Facebook feed or my TikTok feed or whatever is music and thirst traps that I can't seem to get rid of. Like, and even then, the politics I do see are typically not related. even in the last couple of days, have not been related to Mexico in any large form. Like until you and I had talked about it, then I started diving in a little bit, and I started seeing like the streets on fire, which I mean happens in the United States all the time, but it seems widespread, and it's a reasonable conversation to have.
Yeah. Now, the other thing dominating the news, which has been kind of
Rage bait me.
Oh, you sure about that?
Oh,
Sure you want that?
crisscross applesauce. Let's go.
So, another dumb fuck tried to kill Trump, right?
Yeah. Well, yes, I did. I saw that he Mar-a-Lago. He went to Mar-a-Lago with was it a shotgun?
A shotgun and a gas can. Here is an update. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. No, fucking straight up real deal. Real deal.
Homie never played Call of Duty at all. If he was trying to kill someone with a shotgun from more than what?
Oh no, he broke the perimeter. Here is the press conference from Fox News with the last update.
At 1:30 this morning, the security detail detected that a individual had made his way into the inner perimeter of Mar-a-Lago. A deputy and 2 Secret Service agents on the detail went to that area to investigate. They confronted a white male that was carrying a gas can and a shotgun. He was ordered to drop those 2 pieces of equipment that he had with him, at which time he put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position. At that point in time, the deputy and the 2 Secret Service agents fired their weapons and neutralized the threat. He is deceased at the scene. I'll give you a picture of the shotgun and the gas can to have with you. So that's what we know now. Investigation continues. The FBI is the lead investigation agency on this case, and we will be assisting them in whatever manner they would like. And they will be responsible for answering any other questions at an appropriate time.
That dude's old enough to be in Congress.
Let's not give him any ideas. We got Mitch McConnell that's embarrassing us on a daily basis. So
Been that way for years.
The person responsible, interestingly enough, is not what you would expect.
I'm going to go ahead and say not a 2A guy, because most of them are not going to take a shotgun and a gas can.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. The shooter, this is, again, we're going to use the BBC for this one. Armed man killed after entering secure perimeter of Trump's residence. Man was carrying a shotgun and fuel can. Trump, in his first comments on the shooting, said on Monday, he's a target because he's a consequential president, noting that he's got a lot of people gunning for me, don't I? Yeah. Typical Trump.
Consequential and controversial, kind of interchangeable.
So the suspect has been named as 21-year-old Austin T. Martin of Cameron, North Carolina, according to the BBC's U.S. partner CBS. There he is right there.
Okay.
He allegedly, and I'm trying to see if they bring it up here, said he was a good kid who worked at a golf course and didn't know how to use a gun. Fields described the family as big Trump supporters, but that his cousin did not discuss politics. Other U.S. media, including the Miami Herald, said Martin had not declared a party affiliation. One of his friends told the New York Times the man was probably one of the kinder souls I've ever actually met, and that he had struggled with the death of his sister 3 years earlier.
Okay.
So
he was having a rampant fit of depression and thought this was the best way to go? I mean, I'm sure there's some level of political motivation, but at the same point, did you really think that was actually going to end in anything successful? I can't imagine.
It's tough to say, man, because
It sounds like suicide by Secret Service to me.
It does, but at the same time, though, it wouldn't surprise me if they thought they could get away with it, because look at Thomas Matthew Crooks. Look at how close he got.
Yeah, I mean,
look at Ryan Ralph. Look at how close he got.
But those were better planned than breaching Mar-a-Lago.
Well, yes, but
with a shotgun.
Yes, but again, nobody said any of these people were bright.
Yeah. To me, it sounds like
Why was he allowed to get that close? Is the question. Why was he even allowed to breach the perimeter?
Well,
why wasn't he stopped fucking 500 yards before the perimeter?
Sure.
Why hadn't somebody spotted him ahead of time? Like,
did they confirm? I mean, my assumption is Trump was not on the Mar-a-Lago grounds at the time, which would just go further to how terribly his planning went. I don't think either of those articles said. My assumption is that he wasn't, but if Trump's not on the grounds, my assumption is that probably their standing security detail is going to be on a bit less of an alert than if he was there. But
yeah, the incident happened around 1:30 on Sunday morning when the president was in Washington, D.C.
Okay, so yeah, so he wasn't even there. So. Say this kid was broad daylight, ran a fuel can and a shotgun. That's not a great idea. I mean, neither of them are a great idea. That whole thing just seems. It doesn't seem like there was a functional goal there. Other than
it doesn't.
Maybe him getting himself offed by something other than his own hand.
The left has resorted to their traditional tactics with this too.
Take all the shotguns away from people?
No, they are more so they're questioning the use of force and due process. You know, whether it was unavoidable or not, whether they tried to de-escalate, or they just broadly kind of contextualize Trump and they say like it's a public safety issue. Like they're ignoring the fact that
point a shotgun at me.
Somebody tried to
see what happened.
Like this is, again.
Yeah,
you know, but you have it on the flip side too of like the right is also immediately blaming the left for normalizing political violence, and yes, that is that's true.
I think there's that's a more viable take. However, I still don't think that in this instance that's probably the correct take. Like,
no.
If you're on either side of the aisle and you're not condemning political violence, then I can't have a conversation with you.
No, 100%. But and again, they try to. Oh well, we don't know the motive. We don't know the motive yet. They're very cautious. They focus on what the minute details. Where's the body cam footage?
Yeah,
they're doing everything except.
I'd be curious to see it if there is. Well, they said something about a sheriff's deputy. Like, so conceivably he would have a body cam. I'd be curious to see it. I'm assuming Secret Service does not wear body cams, so.
I would hope they would.
I doubt they do. I doubt they would.
Probably not. Yeah,
I think they'd be in constant proximity to too much sensitive shit.
I would agree there. But again, it kind of comes back to the point of like, why wasn't this kid stopped earlier?
Sure. Yeah.
Why was he even on the grounds, in that area at 1:30 in the morning? Like, there's questions to be asked.
Yeah, I'm always into gathering more information. That's 100% valid. I don't think that this is some major event that would need read into. If something came out, like if that body cam footage came out and there was something egregious in it, I'm like, absolutely fucking send it. I'd like to see that body cam. If there's sheriff deputy body cam or whatever, I would like to see it. I still really like, especially not even having.
It wouldn't change the premise that this kid had a fucking gas can and a shotgun.
I'm not even concerned. Like, fucking take the gas can out of the equation. Nick, you had a shotgun. You breached Mar-a-Lago. You obviously knew what Mar-a-Lago was. So
especially if his family was Trump's, his family were Trump supporters. Like, come on.
Yeah. You know what this is. So
you know what you're doing.
It just sounds to me like somebody looking for a loud way out. Like, hey, here's a way that I can get somebody else to do it. I'm no longer here, and I get some level of 5 minutes of press. Like, is that what it is? I don't know, but like that's what it sounds like to me.
I mean, it's either that or he's like vying for a spot on World's Dumbest Criminals.
Yeah, I mean that's like trying to rob a gun store. Like, what the fuck you do? Like, you expect nobody's gonna have one? Like, I don't.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
If he had
another one of
any
those
level of
situations where it doesn't add up.
Any level of intelligence, he knows what happens.
Yeah, especially I don't know. There's tons of questions to be asked. Still.
Oh God, if you're gonna,
but not pointing fingers,
right? But you're gonna play the flip side. Like, all right, you decide you're gonna try and take out the head of your country. Number one, are you gonna do it with a shotgun? I guess maybe if it's the only thing you have access to, but like, I don't know, man. Call a friend, raid your uncle's fucking gun safe. Like, this is Florida, right?
Yeah.
There's guns. You can buy them out of a trunk of a car. Like, there's no fucking rules down there. Like, you can find an AR-15. You can find a fucking just about fucking anything. If that was the actual case, to not know that Trump wasn't even in Mar-a-Lago and he was in D.C. Dude's literally fucking 18-hour drive away. Like,
yeah, I don't think this is something that needs to be read into more than some idiot had an impulsive thought and did what he, tried to take himself out. I don't think there's any massive conspiracy around this.
When the inside thoughts make it outside, bad things happen.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that said, on that note,
that's why I'm here. I'm here to let my inside thoughts out.
Yeah, seriously. So, this was supposed to be a video introducing the show, and it's coming up on probably close to an hour and a half here.
Yeah.
So this isn't even an official episode, folks. This is just the
episode
intro.
0.
Hey, hi, how you doing? Yeah. Hence the disastrous everything. But it's nice to be back. Yeah, it's great. Hopefully.
I just want to talk to the people.
Don't raise their expectations too much.
I just want to talk to the people. I want to have a place where I get to
vent.
Have a gentle crash out. Here's the thing. Full disclosure. I don't stay up on. I'm a dad. I have a full-time job. I play in a band. I don't stay up on this stuff. But I am very open to taking the information and thinking about it. And I like to have those conversations. So that's what I want to do.
Exactly. Sounds like a plan to me, man.
You always know you're going to get my honest opinion.
No matter whether that honest opinion's a good one or not.
Oh, absolutely. Especially after...
You guys know me. I just talk shit 24/7. I will die talking shit. I will take it to my grave. That's just what I do.
Anyway, let's go play Arc Raiders so you can fucking...
Yeah.
So I can talk shit while I'm downed.
So I can ruin everybody else's day. Well, that is it. That's all we got for you, folks. Thank you for joining us. We'll catch you in the first official episode coming this spring.
Thanks, guys.
Say, they're the liar. It's a high